Hello and welcome to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network Sunday special interview. Very excited today because I have a guy on the show who is a star in the indie scene based out of the Maritimes. Very happy to welcome Moondog Dylan Davis. Moondog, welcome to the show, man.
What's going on, Lewis? It's been a long time since we had a chat. It's been a minute.
Yeah,
hey, Ben.
I've been good. How about yourself? How have you been?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good now. During these times of COVID and all this stuff, I'm keeping a positive mindset towards all of it. You know what I mean? Trying to keep myself busy as I can, really. So I'm doing all right.
That's good, man. Well, the last time we spoke, you were Dynamite Dylan Davis. Now you're Moondog Dylan Davis. So tell me a little bit about the name change, and is it a character change as well?
Yes, definitely. Yes and no. So it's like almost, if I can explain it in a way, it's almost like a level up from what I was to where I am now. So the name was given to me years ago by Mike Hughes, Dynamite, because I had the head shaved, all the tights. I looked just like the Dynamite Kid. Okay. So I just had it for years, used it. But then after a while, I just felt like it wasn't right for me to use his name. You know what I'm saying? I didn't build that name, so why would I use it? Okay. So for years, I was like, I'm going to change my name. I went over names like The Perfect Storm, but that never really, never like got caught on, I guess. So I was like, well, how about if I went back to my roots, Newfoundland roots, the Moondogs. I don't know if you ever heard of, it's like a local legend here by the name of Sailor White.
Okay.
So he was a Moondog back in the day. He was the former WWF Tag Team Champion back in the day. So the only Newfoundlander to ever make it like big time. So I thought that's the Moondog look, right? So that's how it all like started off. During COVID, of course, all the shows that I was on were all canceled, so I haven't had a match since September. So I went back to my roots even further. I worked on a boat for the last 6 months.
Okay.
And that's where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this full on Moondog. I'm gonna be like full on, like new attitude, new something. It's almost like a new twist on an old throwback. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna see something new. I've been waiting for months to just show off this new me, and every show we have is getting canceled because of COVID. Yeah, so I'm just like, when it happens, Lewis, it's gonna be crazy.
No, I can imagine, and I know a lot about the Moondogs. When I first started watching Tony Garea, Rick Martel were the tag team champions. They lost it to the Moondogs. I used to hate the Moondogs because they beat my favorite tag team. So was he Rex or was he King?
He was King.
King. Okay. Yes, he was King.
King. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I know he eventually left, and then Spot took over. But yeah, no, I know the Moondogs very well, and no, great name, and I hope the character works out well for you, man. So you're reinventing yourself. How important do you feel it is for a wrestler to reinvent themselves from time to time?
I think it's very important. I believe it's one of the main things you have to do to grow. Because as you know, wrestling is always new. It's always like evolving. You gotta stay fresh, otherwise people don't know who you are. I felt like what I was doing wasn't getting the right attention. It wasn't who I was. I wasn't able to be me out there. I was having fun, but I wasn't who I wanted to be. So I believe like changing up your stuff here and there is very important to stay relevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that being said, too, now during all this stuff during COVID, a lot of spots are open up right now. So I want to be one of the guys that people see as, okay, who is he? I want to stand out in front of all the rest because I want that new open spot. You know what I mean? That's my spot. So here I am, the Moondog, here to take it. You know what I mean? New attitude.
Yeah. So is King going to be in your corner? Is he going to be a manager? That would be awesome. That would be awesome if you got King as your manager, man.
Unfortunately, he passed away a number of years ago.
Oh my gosh! I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I did not know that. I did not know that.
No, it's definitely one of those less known facts. He passed away actually a number of years ago. Okay. So I guess me bringing this back is sort of like a thank you to him because let's be honest, without him, there would be no wrestling here in Newfoundland. I wouldn't be here doing this right now, right? So
Okay.
for me doing this, it's sort of like a thank you to him. He worked all over the lucky enough to go all over Canada, some of the US. So all the world wrestling, you know what I'm saying, with the Moondog name, you know what I mean? So and so like it's like a respect thing, really.
Okay, you mentioned professional wrestling in Newfoundland. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the current status of Newfoundland wrestling, man?
So right now in Newfoundland wrestling, it's definitely a different scene than what it was over the last number of years. COVID, of course, has put a big damper on their shows and what they can do. Luckily, the current guy here who owns a ring, who runs shows, he's able to have shows here with very limited crowds, 80 crowds versus, I guess, the 500 that we were used to have, or were allowed to have, sorry.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's great that he's still having shows and the guys here are still working. But on the other side of the fence, some fans may notice the guys that I say the top guys who have the most experience on the island aren't working his shows anymore, aren't working the shows locally. The reason being is, like, I guess, personal and also business aside, it's like people don't see eye to eye, really, this stuff. So, over the years, the current guy who runs shows here in Newfoundland, he seemed to get more stressed out over trying to run shows. He kept complaining about the roster not giving him what he wanted, just being, half-assers. He was done. He was tired. He offered to give the company to myself and Scott on numerous occasions, but of course, at the time, we were both happy doing our thing. We didn't want to take on the extra stress of wrestling shows. It was no way. Why would we? Plus, I was happy doing my own thing in the Maritimes. So that was that. Fast forward, COVID happens. I move home to Newfoundland. I was stoked to come home because my goal all along was to move away, wrestle, become one of the best, have something, and come home with that and build something else. That was always my goal since day one. I come home after COVID. I start working on a boat, making money. Get the idea, like, he's like stressed out. He wants change. I can be that. I can help him out. I can give him a way out, and I'll step in, and I'll run shows, and I'll, whatever. So there's 3 rings here on the island. 3 wrestling rings. There's one that is just sort of like no one knows who owns it. So of course I thought, well, I would get that ring myself, my friends Scotty and Mike. We're gonna open up a spot to go and train and learn while there's no shows, because you had to keep off the rust. So we figured if we open up something where guys can learn and be better, then it would give us a main spot to open up our own company, which was the goal all along. So right now, myself and my friends Scott and Mike, we're here trying to open up our new brand new company here in Newfoundland. That's so of course through the grapevine, Travis, he's the guy that currently runs here in Newfoundland. He heard about it. He heard that we're trying to get this ring, and I guess whatever happened, he thought we were trying to like just come in right away and run against him and just totally destroy all the work he's done, which is the total opposite. I've never believed to be that kind of malice person to come in and hurt people, but I believe that when it's time for a change, it's time for a change. You know what I mean? I felt like, me coming in, it would be a lot of a more warmer reception than what it was. So currently, right now, your top guys with the most experience in Newfoundland aren't working the shows because we're currently trying to build up something bigger and better. Not to downplay anybody right now who's currently wrestling on the island or whatnot, but it's just there's people here. They should have more. There should be more quality here for wrestling. So over the last number of years, I've met a number of friends on the road. So when I say I want to run a new company here in town, I mean I want to bring the best wrestlers in Canada and the world. I mean, people from my friends from North Pro, Smash, NSPW in Quebec. You know, I want the very best. I want to show the fans here the very best, because over the last number of years, that's all I've met with the best wrestlers, and that's why I've improved and I've learned, and I've went from Dynamite to the Moondog. You know, those number of years working the best is where I got my grit. So I want to bring that here. I want to bring quality wrestling here. You know what I mean? So wrestling in Newfoundland right now, from my opinion, my experience, it deserves better. It definitely deserves better. It can be better. But of course, I say that now, but it's like during COVID, you can't do much anyways, right?
That's true.
But yeah, just going back to it. The reason wrestling here is still, you know, we're just still having some shows, but sadly, you know, I'm sitting home, you know, and so is, you know, guys like Andrew Hawks and Scott Humphreys, and it's definitely like, I try to not get into like too much politics with it, and they're like, you know, but like I said, the guy at the start, me and Travis got along very well. He took care of me, and just through wrestling and we just had a falling out, you know. It wasn't, and again, it wasn't our first time either. Like, me and Travis had fallen out a couple of months ago, and I walked away, and I was away for like 16 months, and we sort of mended that bridge, but that didn't last long. So, yeah.
All right. So what you said you're going to start your company. What challenges do you feel you're going to be facing when starting your own promotion? What challenges lie ahead for you, man?
So like, for me, obviously the current issue is, of course, COVID and the restrictions, the borders closed and all that stuff. So it's very hard to promote a show right now where you can't really make the money worth it, you know. And being here in Newfoundland too, we're very like limited, right? So the main issue right now is COVID. The next one is would be my like lack of experience. I think like I've always believed wrestling, you got to be to learn and grow, you got to be uncomfortable. And not to sound like a big shot, but in wrestling, in a match, I've sort of found my comfort. It's, you know, but now I want to learn how to run show. I want to learn the other side of wrestling. I want to learn how to do good business, you know. I do still want to wrestle. I really do. But I want to plan for the future as well. Like some people may not know, about a year and a half ago, I was told I had a herniated disc in my neck. My C5 bulges to the right. So I was told hey, you should probably think about your career choice. It's like, oh, okay. And you know, you're sitting there looking at your neck X-ray, and you're like, well, this has been a fun ride. Now what do I do? So I wrestle. I still want to, but I just don't know for how much longer, right? You know. So, and wrestling is a very big part of my life, and I always will be. So here's what I'm doing. So, you know, inexperience will be my next like toughest thing. Next, you know, I think it will be. I'm so limited here on the island, on Newfoundland. It's for like to get people here. It takes a ferry or an airplane. You know, in the Maritimes, you can just drive in a car from Ontario, Quebec. It takes long, but you're there, right? So that'll be the next thing too. Next main challenge. So.
All right, there you go. So prior to this pandemic, you had some great momentum, man. Do you think you'll be able to get that momentum back once everything gets back to normal?
I sure hope so. Yeah, like I remember before this pandemic, I had my dates filled up from between like I think it was like March to like August. I had every weekend was filled, and some I had 1 month where I spent in Quebec. I was lucky enough to speak with Eric from FML in Quebec. I was going to do a show for him, and he was going to let me stay at his house so I can work a show for Lut 07 as well that same month. I had another month in Ontario, and of course all over the Maritimes too, and some stuff in the States. So I was excited. I was busy. And then COVID. happened.
COVID ruined everything, man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So that's why like now I'm trying to just improve everything, new look. I'm just in the gym every day. My mindset is very fresh and new than it was last year. I'm hungrier. I know if I don't do something, I'll do nothing. You know what I mean? So I know that if I don't get up, I know that if I'm getting up at 5 a.m., there's others who aren't doing that. Or if I'm at the gym for 3 hours, there's guys who aren't doing that. Or if I'm pressing like promos or watching tapes, there's guys who aren't doing that right now. So again, when that spot is open up, I'm taking it. You know, so.
Absolutely. Yeah. So how are you keeping in shape? But you remain in tremendous shape. So what have you been doing to keep in elite shape, man?
So of course, I was working on the boat for like 6 months. You know, there's no gym there. Of course, the job is very labor intensive, but I was working out maybe once a month at a gym because I'd be in and out. And of course, on a boat, you don't have your eating habits aren't really the best. So I got super out of shape. Once I was laid off for the season, I said, "Well, I can't be like this bad." I remember I had a match in September at UCW, and I just did not feel good. I did not feel good. I couldn't. I was like winded. I looked at the match. I was like, "What happened to me? Who is that?" Total like, you know, I need to change. Once I was laid off work, I just put my head down, focused. The new diet, training changed. I reached out to a coach of mine to help me with some diet stuff and whatnot, and just totally changed my whole mindset. I know that, you know, if I don't do the work, if I don't work, if I don't look the part, if I don't try, someone out there is going to be doing it, and they're going to get get ahead of me. Like I can't have that. Lewis, come on.
I know. Actually, you mentioned you're working on a boat. I saw you had some pictures. I was doing some research on you. You caught some tremendously large fish, man. There's one huge fish that looks bigger than you, man. How do you catch a fish like that, man?
So, fun fact, it wasn't even the biggest fish. Okay.
Holy smoke.
Yeah, that wasn't the biggest fish. That was a halibut. So with halibut, it's like you use a trawl line, so a big bucket of rope with hooks on it.
Yeah.
And a trawl pole, throw it out, and then you wait 5 hours, reel it in. Sometimes there's a halibut on one of those hooks. So within, you gotta take a gaff. There's like 5 of the guys, because sometimes the fish, like one fish was like 260 pounds.
Holy smoke.
Yeah. So, and I have videos too. It takes like 4 or 5 guys with a gaff to go and get it and pull up over the edge of the boat. And these fish, and like once you get them up, they go crazy. Like it's unreal. So yeah, just that, and then
that's where you drop the elbow drop on them, right? Just to knock them out.
Get down, yeah. So yeah, but the worst part, the hard part is trying to get them up out of the hole when you get back to port, because down there, dude, it's dead weight. It's 200 pounds of a dead fish. You're just like, come on. It's like just, and it gets pretty like, you know, slimy too, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I've definitely seen some big fish for sure. It was definitely something that I've never done in my life, and it was such a cool experience to finally do that, because fishing is a big part of my like family's livelihood, my grandfather and stuff. I just never did it. We just chased wrestling. So I came home, didn't know what I was doing. I don't have a clue how to fish, to be quite honest. This is my first time on a boat last March. First time ever. So it's a lot that goes into it too, let me tell you.
Yeah, that fish was something else, man. You look very excited holding that fish.
I was stoked, yeah.
Well, let's go back to the wrestling. So prior to the pandemic, you had a tremendous match, Seaway Valley Wrestling against Stu Grayson. It was a main event. Great match. So your thoughts on that match, Stu Grayson and Seaway Valley Wrestling?
Oh, man. Lewis, that match was by far my favorite match I've ever had. I think I went into that match so nervous. The months leading up to the match, I focused. I put my head down. I trained my ass off. I watched Stu. I watched my tapes, and I just got into it. It was my first time wrestling for Seaway Valley. By the way, those guys are amazing dudes. All they do is create opportunities for guys who are hungry, and they are the most down to earth guys I've ever met. The first time they had me on their show, they put me in the main event against Stu Grayson, like one of the best dudes in Canada or the world even, and for that, I was forever grateful. I was like unreal. But that match, I went into it. I was ready. I was ready. We were at the Nav Center. I remember pacing back and forth for about 3 hours, back and forth. There's probably a tread in the carpet. I was pacing. I was like, because I knew this could make or break me. I knew if I messed up, that's it. But I knew if I did good, then someone would know who I am.
Yeah.
So best match I've ever had. Physical. I walked out of that match like just better, just every way. And of course, Alan, he runs Seaway Valley.
Yeah.
Great guy. Him and Ryan, great guys. If anyone sees this, get a chance, go work with Seaway Valley Wrestling. The guys are amazing.
Yep. Yeah, no, Al's actually a good friend of mine. Al's a great guy, and he thinks highly of you as well, man. He thinks highly of you as well. I think I asked last time. Did I ask you about the Congo Kong match last time we spoke?
No, I don't.
Okay,
think
yeah.
so.
So you wrestled Congo Kong, and so how intimidating is it standing across the ring from Congo Kong? Because the dude is as big as that fish that you caught, man.
Yeah. So fun fact, actually, I actually met Kong years ago here in Newfoundland. When he came down for Legend City Wrestling, we did a big tour, and I actually worked with him in a match in Marystown, actually here in Newfoundland, a small town. Now, mind you, this is years ago. This is probably 2013. So I was still very, even though I've been wrestling for like a few years here, I was still very green to like wrestling. Very anxious, very excited. I didn't have many matches, so when I had one, I was there. So me and him had this match. I'm throwing shots, boom, and I'm throwing heavy, and they're heavy, and he's like, he's up, I hit him, he's up. Third one, boom, he opens his hand, his pants are, and this slap. I just drop, and okay, I'm sorry, right? But ever since, like, dude, I remember when I was told. I remember when he was coming down. I watched his matches on YouTube because that's what I always did, and he scared me. I was terrified. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. But you know what? It was great. He was a great dude. He took care. He's very safe. Took care of me and my friend Wheels as well. Wheels is about half my size, and they had a number of matches, and each time took care of Wheels and made him look good. Great match.
All right, man. Actually, I meant to ask about back to Stu Grayson for a second. Did Stu Grayson talk to you at all after the match and say good job, Dylan?
Yeah.
And did you guys have advice for you or anything?
The only advice he told me, he said, was hit harder.
Hit harder.
Hit harder. Because I always, whenever I work somebody, whoever it even, I always try and get something. I always pick your brain. As soon as we get back, almost immediately, I'm there. I'm like, okay, what can I do better? It's never. I never ask what I did good. I always say, what can I do better? Because at the time, I always think very highly of Stu, and he's one of the top guys doing it right now. He's up there. For me to be able to hang with him, it meant something like to me. For him to say hit harder, I was like, okay, like that's. And then Alan told me he went to Alan and said I was good, so like he gave me a thumbs up. That was all I needed. I would love to get the shot to work him again one day, whether it be Seaway Valley or AEW or
okay. All right, you will. I'm sure there'll be a rematch between Moondog Dylan Davis and maybe you maybe you could join his faction as well, the Dark Order. Moondog Dylan Davis.
Dark Order. You think so? I mean that could be a good fit for the Dark Order.
Dark,
I
or you could be the rebellious character that tries to take out them one by one. You try to take the Dark Order out one by
oh
one.
yeah, that could work too. Tony Khan, let's go.
Let's go, man.
Reach out to me. I'll be there. No.
So you wrote on your social media. I hope all younger wrestlers coming in today all cross paths with someone like Cody Deaner. You want to explain that? Why you feel that way?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
100%. I met Cody in 2012 again here in Newfoundland with LCW. He was the first guy I worked with any kind of like credibility who was a somebody. So I was very nervous. Again, I was working a number of years here in Newfoundland, so I didn't get the full wrestling training. You know, as I told you in like our last podcast, I was sort of tossed in the fire in Newfoundland here. So he sat me down and he broke down the match, how the match goes, each start where to finish, and he was cool the whole time. He the whole time, and again, me back then, I was very. I can tell you, I was probably very annoying to work with for somebody who just knew what they were doing, but the whole time, patient, moving out, had a great match, and I've seen him a number of times since then, and it's always like the best. Whenever I share a locker room with him, it's always great. It's always like, "How you doing, like, bro?" It's always like, but he was definitely somebody that allowed me, someone who's nervous, to come in and feel like I belonged. A lot of guys, like with his experience and his up to his like level, can be like bitter or short fused or they never have the time to show. But Cody seems to make time to always help people like myself and everyone else grow, and that's one of the things I always be thankful. Like, luckily for me, I met Diener. You know what I mean? A lot of like, I know nowadays it's very weird. A lot of young kids don't get that opportunity. I feel bad for them. Like, I wish everyone meets their Cody, on their journey. Because great dude.
Yeah, great dude. I met him a couple of times. Very, very approachable. Very, very friendly guy.
Oh, yeah.
Loves to interact with the fans. What do you think about the new character? His character change on Impact Wrestling.
You know what? I dig it. I don't know. I like earlier we were saying, how important is it to evolve in wrestling? And I feel like, you know what, like this new Diener, I like it. It's edgier. It's something. It's just his attitude. Like, you can tell us something he's been holding on to for years, right? It's just, I like it. I was like big fan of it for sure. It's fresh.
Absolutely, man. I absolutely love it, man. I absolutely love the new character.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it, man. So I get to see you live when you wrestled in Smash. I don't think I get to meet you. I met Burke. I met New Hook, Connors, and Little Blade, but I didn't get a chance to meet you. I was a little disappointed at that. But I did see the match with you and Little Blade. I forgot who your opponents were, but great match. Are you guys coming back to Ontario anytime soon? Are you coming back to Ontario? Love to have you back. I know you've been there's a lot of interest in Dylan Davis in Ontario, man. I'd love to see you back.
Oh yeah, for real? All right, yeah. Like we wrestled the Realm, two of Tyson Deuce's.
Yeah, that's right. The Realm.
Students, right? And they're great. Like, Deuce did a great job with those kids. They're really good. But I love Ontario. I always say, like, the caliber of guys there is definitely what I want to push me to the next level. Whenever I've been there, it's always been great. Whether it's a Smash show or Destiny show or Greektown show or Seaway Valley, I always had a great match, great time, and it was well worth the 29-hour drive from Halifax to get there. So will I ever come back? I would love to. Honestly, the idea to move there was tossed around a bit. So depending where my life goes after COVID, you may see me there permanently. I don't know. I want to move wherever the opportunities are. So
Just next time we do a show, don't hide from me though. 'Cause you gotta come
I'll
out
sneak
like
away.
so I could. don't want to meet Lewis. I gotta get out. Is Lewis out there? I'm not coming out unless
I'll
Lewis
find
leaves.
you. I'll find you.
Okay, man. Cool. So when this pandemic ends, do you have an opponent in mind that you would like to face, or it doesn't matter? You just want to get back in the ring? Anybody?
So I'm hungry. Like no. So currently, right now, my next booked match is the North Pro show, which was just pushed to May 29th in New Brunswick at the Capitol Theatre. Before the pandemic, Flip Gordon won the NSPW Maritime Championship. Of course, Flip living in the States, he couldn't defend the belt. So the belt is up for grabs. So that night, there is a 4-man round-robin tournament for that belt. So it's going to be myself, Charlie Hubley, Troy Merrick, and Marcus Burke. So what it'll be 2 rounds, and whoever wins gets the maritime belt. So that's my next current match booked. So, I'm going into that with, hungry because who knows, I could end up across the ring from my mentor, Marcus Burke, in the finals, and then it's on, right? It's so no matter who it is in that ring, whether it be Marcus Burke, Charlie Hubley, whoever, I gotta win that, and I gotta be hungry and ready to fight. And I gotta show them the new Moondog,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. Is that going to be streamed anywhere by chance?
You know what? I'm not sure,
Okay.
but I will definitely pass it along, and when I find out, I'll let you know for sure.
Okay, sounds
Definitely,
good. I want to see you get that championship around your waist, man, because I know you're gonna do it, Moondog.
Oh, well, I'm the first ever champion. I'm the first ever maritime champion.
Yeah.
So that's my belt, Lewis. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, no, it's your belt. It doesn't belong around anyone's waist except the Moondog, Dylan Davis' waist, man.
Right.
So yeah, looking forward. So May 29th, North Pro. That's gonna be a good show, man. And hopefully, let me know if it's streaming. I definitely want to see that, man. So do you watch much wrestling now? And are you following the AEW Impact partnership? And now there's an AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling partnership. Are you watching it? And how do you feel about that? And
it's exciting, man. For example, the other day I was scrolling through Instagram and I seen the video of Kenta, and I was like, oh, actually, made up, actually yelled like, this is cool.
Yeah.
What's going on now between Impact and AEW is to me is exciting. It brings me back to how wrestling felt when I was a kid. You never knew what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's way different. I watch it as much as I can because, of course, we're now free time, and it's good to know the current product as well. It's good to know the audience and know what's what and what's hot and what's not. So, what's going on now? I believe it's probably the most exciting time to be a wrestling fan and a wrestler because, again, you just never know what's going to happen. As a fan, you never know what you're going to see on the TV. As a wrestler, you never know what door is going to open for you. So just incredible time. Yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. I was thrilled to see Kenta in AEW.
I know.
That's gonna be nuts, man. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
If they get a full partnership and Kota Ibushi shows up, that'll be insane, man.
Yeah,
insane,
come on, what next? You know what I mean? It's these big steps forward for wrestling during a very uncertain time. It's unreal to me. Incredible.
Do you think the WWE is panicking a little bit right now? I think they'll be okay. They should be okay though, right?
Yeah, I don't know. You just never know. I don't. You never know. I don't know. It's hard to say really. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Right. It could be anything. I don't think they're panicking. I think the WWE is a household name. It's a solid brand. I think they're just fine. They're gonna keep doing their own thing.
Yeah, no, they'll be fine. They'll be just fine.
Yeah.
So what's the dream match for Moondog Dylan Davis?
The dream match for me, currently, would that be current people or would it be anybody?
Anybody, living or dead. We'll go living or dead. Anybody.
Oh man. Okay. So I would say Stone Cold Steve Austin because
Okay.
he's my all-time favorite. Even as a kid, he's my favorite. Like that's and like as I get older and I started like wrestling, just understanding him more as like what he was and how he worked. It was like he's the man. He's the man. So Stone Cold for sure. About like out of current stars, Moxley or like Omega would be my two right now.
Okay.
For sure. Omega because he's obviously like one of the best in the world. And Moxley, I just love his style, his hard hitting style. It's unorthodox, violent. I'm like that's I'm all about it.
Right,
So,
man. It could happen one day, man. Those are big names there. Unfortunately, Steve Austin's retired, so that won't happen. But Moxley Omega is a possibility, man. Possibility, man. Never know. So what do you hope to have accomplished by the end of 2021? I know you mentioned that new promotion that you're starting, but what do you hope to have accomplished by the end of 2021?
So of course, that I want to be running shows to some caliber. There's just like a small like something, but there's a certain like negative heat across like Newfoundland, the Newfoundland wrestling scene right now, and I would like to be able to like change that and sort of break the Newfoundland wrestling wheel and change the mindset. And with this new company, I want to have a new fresh start because I mean life's too short to be negative and life's too uncertain to be negative. So I hope this brand new start offers a whole new lease on life for the Newfoundland wrestling scene. Also, I hope to get more opportunities, to be better. I want to work the very best. So I'm hoping that this year offers me opportunities I can go after wrestling. Ideally, a goal of mine is always to like travel internationally, whether that be like Japan or UK or Puerto Rico. So like that's the goal too. But in this year, I just want to be back to like some kind of wrestling schedule, where I'm not just sitting home waiting for the next show. I want to know when I'm wrestling. I want to know what I'm training for. I want to know, So.
Yep, everything's gonna get back to normal soon enough, man. Don't worry, everything's back to normal, man. So if there was one promotion that you could sign with right now, any promotion, what would that promotion be? Would it be MLW, Impact, WWE, AEW, New Japan? Well, what's the ultimate promotion that you want to sign with?
Right now, like definitely AEW. I've been telling like my mom always said to me every day, "Oh, you're up early going to the gym," and I go, "Yeah." She's what? And I told her, like, "Mom, I just want that one shot. I just want that one shot." I'm a grown man telling my mom my kid dreams. It's kind of weird, but I said I want that one shot. She goes, "What do you mean?" I go, "I want to get at least one opportunity to be seen by a wide variety of people." And I think right now AEW is like the best opportunity to shine. Based on what I see, and there's people, I know a few people there who are there, and they're all great people. And I just want that one chance to be there and show them what I can do. So my choice would definitely be AEW for sure.
Okay, well, see if you get yourself on the EW Dark, man. You'd be great on that. And then you work your way up to the main. I think you'll be great, man. Like, how does a wrestler go about getting in touch with AEW? Like if you wanted to get in touch with someone, would you send them like a promo package? How do you go about doing that, man?
Yeah, like I don't really know. Like to be honest, I never like really. To be honest, my biggest thing going through wrestling was like self-confidence. I never believed I was good enough to approach people like that, so I never really did.
Okay, I'm gonna cut you off. I'm gonna cut you off there, dude. You are good enough to approach people like that. Okay.
Well, thank you.
Okay, you are good enough. But go ahead, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's awesome, man. Thanks so much. But again, this is your mindset, right? That's how I am. I always think that's what keeps me going is the need to always be better. So. I never did, but oddly enough, last year myself and a few of us, like Marcus Burke, Little Blay, and Emily Parker, we were on a list for WWE tryouts, which is the biggest thing I ever had. Unfortunately, we never got the final call back, but it was still cool to be like considered briefly.
Yeah.
So as for approaching him, I don't really know. I guess sending your tapes, finding out who the scouts are or the agents are, and just doing a promo and whatnot. Which is what I'm doing now. I'm planning on like doing this promo that explains what the Moondog is, with my new hairdo and stuff and new gear and stuff.
Yeah.
So once I have that, then I'm gonna send that out. I see a lot of guys on like social media. They'll hashtag like WWE or hashtag that. I don't believe that really works either. I feel like you gotta show them how bad you want it. You gotta go above it and beyond what others are. You gotta go above and beyond what the other guys are doing to be seen, right? So it's just building your own package so you sell yourself right, so they see a value in you. So I guess just put yourself out there is the main thing to do to be seen by anybody, really.
Okay. All right, man. Well, they'll see you soon enough, man. Trust me, man. So before we wrap this up, is there anything you want to plug? I know you mentioned the May 29th show. Any merchandise? Anything you want to plug before we wrap this up?
Yeah, sure. So I got some shirts to anyway. It's ready to go. I got 2 new shirts. I have the Blue Collar versus All Ye.
Yep. Okay.
Blue Collar, and this is a good one. This is a cool one. My new personal favorite. This is the new Moondog Dylan Davis one.
That's a nice shirt, man. I have the Dynamite Dylan Davis shirt, man.
You do?
Yeah. So, I ordered it from you. Last year? I think I ordered it from you.
Oh, the Bender Break one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have that. I have other stuff too. Other shirts on my Pro Wrestling Tees store. There's prowrestlingtees.com/Dylan Davis.
Okay.
You can follow me on social media, Instagram, Buddy Wrestles. Even Twitter, same thing, Buddy Wrestles. Okay. Just that's really it. Just everyone watching this, keep an eye out on the Newfoundland wrestling scene because it's going to get turned up pretty cool. Just know that myself and my peers are working very hard to bring a very quality product to the island. So rest assured, Lewis, I'm stoked, excited, nervous for some new beginnings here on the island.
Okay, if you ever need a podcaster, here I am, man. If you need a podcaster for the new
I will send some guys your way. I know a lot of guys here want to tell their side of the story. I only give a small blip of like the Newfoundland wrestling of why we're not here or there. But if you want, there's guys I know that can tell you their side too for sure.
All right, man. Sounds awesome, man. So, Moondog. It's okay to call you Moondog, or you want Dylan?
Always, yeah, man. Yeah,
so,
man,
Moondog, thank you so much for joining me today. It was an absolute pleasure having you. And anytime you want to come back, man, just let me know. I'd love to have you back on.
Awesome. I'll be back, Lewis. Thank you so much, man.
All right. Thank you, man. So this has been the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network Sunday special interview. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. Again, want to thank my guest, Moondog Dylan Davis. Until next time, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.